Hi, it's Deb from Deb's Days. It's Tutorial Tuesday, and I have another project for you today. Today we're making a Valentine's Day candy jar. It's actually a fabric wrap that we're putting around a canning jar. You can add your chocolates, some other treats, or whatever else you'd like. Before I get started, I publish new content frequently, so be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And check out the blog at debsdays.com. You'll find an entire section dedicated to free sewing and crafting projects and links to even more sewing and crafting tutorials. All right, let's get this project started. Along with your regular sewing supplies, for this project you will need a piece of backing fabric measuring 4 inches by 13 inches, a piece of front fabric measuring 4 inches by 13 inches, a piece of batting measuring 4 inches by 13 inches, some fabric scraps for the heart. I cut out 4. These measure about 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. A heart template of some kind. I do have one on debsdays.com if you want to download it from there. And a glue stick. You can find the measurements, the supply list, and the template on debsdays.com. I've added a link in the description right below this video. We're going to first make ourselves a little sandwich. Take your piece of backing fabric and place it with the right side facing up. Then place your front fabric with the right side facing down. Then place your batting on top of that. Make sure it's all lined up, and then go ahead and pin it or clip it in place. We're going to take this to the machine and stitch a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. We're going to leave a space over here open for turning. We will come around the corner a little bit here and around the corner here, but leave about that much for turning. I've gone all the way around and I've left that spot open for turning. What I want to do next is I want to clip these corners. I've clipped the corners. I'm going to go ahead and cut some of this batting away in this opening space. Not the fabric, just the batting. And what that does, it's going to make it a little bit easier when I turn it and stitch it. So go ahead and turn this right side out now. You may find you need to get some scissors in there or something with a tip to get those corners poked out for you. I want to go ahead and get that pressed. And I want to work on this end that I had left open. I'm going to turn it in a 1/4 inch. And I'm going to press that. By cutting some of that batting out there, it made it a nicer little crease. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this back to the machine one more time, and I'm going to top stitch right along the edge here. You can do a 1/4 inch away from the edge or 1/8 inch, whatever you'd like. I'm going to go all the way around. I'm going to make sure I catch this to close it. All right, I've gone ahead and stitched that all the way around. Now I need to grab my template. Now the heart template I have on debsdays.com, the middle heart is a little bit too big for our purpose on here. Yeah, as you can see, that's a little bit too big. So I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm going to just take off just a little smidgen all the way around. Yeah, I like that size now. I'm going to place that on my scraps of fabric. I think I'll go that direction. I'm going to stack them. And then I'm going to cut them. All right, and then I'm going to space them out and see if I do want 3 or if I do want 4. I know I want one right in the middle because this will be the middle of the jar. Actually, I think 3 is all I need. Okay, this is where a glue stick comes in handy. Go ahead and grab that glue stick. You know I'm a fan of this purple glue. And I'm going to just place it on the back of the heart just a little bit, just to hold it in place. I'm going to center it on the middle right here. Trying to center it, same space over here, same space from here to here. Now if you want to get out your ruler, you can do that. This is going to go to the machine, and I'm going to use a zigzag stitch to go all the way around. I have one stitched on. Now I'm going to add the next one and the next one. If you want to tilt them, You can, if you want to put them straight, up to you. I think I'll do it like that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and glue one down, stitch it down at the machine, and then I'm going to come back and do the other one the same way. If you want to hand stitch these or do a blanket stitch, more power to you. I'm just using the zigzag because it's the quickest and the easiest. All right, I have all three attached here. Even the back side looks halfway decent. Now I'm going to take it to the machine and I'm just going to barely sew these two together. Just, actually not even on this 1/4 inch seam allowance, or 1/8 of an inch, in between. Just stitch these two together. I'm going to go ahead and use red thread just because that's what's in my machine. Now with these barely stitched together, I can go ahead and place it over my jar. Fill it up with candy or some other treats, and you're ready to go. If you'd like to see more projects like this one, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And check out the blog at debsdays.com. You'll find an entire section dedicated to free sewing and crafting projects and links to even more sewing and crafting tutorials. See you next time with another project.